If you're worried that your normie 9-to-5 job is killing the chances of pro wrestling success, well, we gotta talk. Before we dive into today's video, I want to shout out Mule Dog Red. He just joined me over on Patreon and is helping me toward my goal this year of 36 new patrons. And so far, we have 11. If you are in a position to support the work of Till We Make It, and you'd like to see me resume weekly content here on the YouTube channel, come join us over on Patreon. There's a link down below in the descriptus. And now I want to give you a sneak peek into a Patreon exclusive video all about leaving the 9-to-5 for professional wrestling. This is a much requested Patreon exclusive all about whether or not your regular job that you do 9-to-5 out there in the normie workforce is actually killing your pro wrestling career. Back in 2007, I was one day shy of my 10-year anniversary working at a company that chiefly produced packaging products, things like bubble wrap and styrofoam packaging and things like that. On my 10th anniversary, I would have received a very special pen of some kind, and a slight pay raise for my dedicated service. But just one day before that anniversary, when I walked in, there was the guy from HR and my boss, and I got called into the office and let go. My position was considered redundant. I was out of a job and never got that pen. But it did inadvertently make pro wrestling my full-time job. And as I was driving back home about 5 minutes after I arrived at work, I thought to myself, well, this is my best shot. I had been thinking about this. Could I make a go of it in wrestling? Could I pay all of my monthly bills just with wrestling, or would that not work out? And I felt like if I gave 6 months of my full-time attention to developing both my wrestling company, which was Chikara at the time, and my training facility, the Wrestle Factory, between these things and the other work that I was taking in wrestling, for example, at the time, I was still freelancing for Pro Wrestling Illustrated and other magazines, I thought, I think I can make it work. And ultimately, that panned out for me. But I appreciate there's a lot of people out there for whom taking that exact same risk may not pay off. So I just want to walk you through a couple things I think you must pay careful attention to if you're at the point where you feel like, do I need to say goodbye to my regular job in order to find the kind of success I want for myself in wrestling, or is now not the right time for that? And the easiest place to start is this. Is your regular 9-to-5 day job preventing the growth of your wrestling career? Because you can't take the days off from work that you need for bookings. You've had to turn down opportunities like an overseas tour or a tryout or dark match with a big wrestling company. Or it is preventing you from doing networking on a daily basis. If you work 5 days a week and on those 5 days of a week you are just not getting any of your professional networking done, it is certainly impeding your career. But that doesn't mean that it's killing your wrestling career, because let's take whatever it is you currently charge as your booking fee and multiply that times 8. This means that you would have on average 2 bookings each of the 4 weeks of the month. And I know there's a couple months where like that doesn't exactly work out or whatever, right? Some months have the 5th week. But on average, if you had 8 paying gigs every single month, could you pay all your monthly bills with just those 8 bookings? If the answer is yes, and you've had to turn down work, which would have gotten you to that 8th booking, because of your job, it's possible you could make the jump. It's possible you could switch over and become a full-time professional wrestler. Now, if you live here in the United States, you have to carefully consider what else makes up your employment package, and I'm speaking specifically about health insurance. Because the moment that you leave your job, the cost of your health insurance, that comes out of your pocket. And health insurance here in the United States is absurdly expensive. So you have to calculate for that. Also, in what ways might some of your savings plans, like a 401k, either be halted or penalized if you leave that job?
could it actually impact some of the money you've already saved? Because one part of this I think you have to carefully consider is your savings. If you don't have at least a 6-month cushion built up in your savings, just as a safety net, let's say that you leave your job and 2 bookings into making wrestling your full-time job, you break your ankle. Well, now all of a sudden, you're not going to be taking those 8 bookings a month. How are you going to pay your bills? You need that safety net to be in place. Give consideration to where you might be able to cut some corners. And I bet if you've been working a normie job and you've been at the same place for any length of time, you've got the lay of the land. And here's what I mean. Could you every once and again call in sick to make it to a booking? I know this is dodgy. I know you could get in trouble for doing it. I'm not here trying to tell you this is the cleanest and most honest way, but could you call in sick to make a booking?
If you want to see the other half of that video, as well as the hundreds of other Patreon exclusive videos that only my patrons get to see over on Patreon, you know what to do. Jump on the link. It's down below or appearing on screen. It's a little orange box. It's going to take you directly to my Patreon where you can see all the perks and bonuses that you unlock the moment that you join. I'll see you there.